In a turn of events about as shocking and surprising as a career politician's lack of moral integrity, YouTube has elected to introduce a new set of terms of service updates aimed at regulating AI in content. This was not only unavoidable, it was, well, the gravity pull of a black hole level unavoidable. Of course, as artificial intelligence is changing, well, everything, in essence. And considering that the technology is still in its absolute infancy and still very much so limited in what it's able to do, a thought that is both exciting and horrifying at the same time, we have to put in place some form of restrictions. It's unavoidable. Regulations will have to come along with the introduction of AI technology, especially as it can be used by anyone, and, well, I'm sure the corporations aren't going to be happy about that. And of course, this new first set of terms of service updates is as much to benefit the corporations as it is to benefit the creators, as herein lies a little bit of the problem. Whilst I do absolutely agree that the regulations on stuff like this is going to be necessary, I would have preferred if it was up to the, elected representative of the populace to do so, rather than the social media companies, but it is 2023, so I suppose that was a pipe dream to begin with. Now, YouTube does make some good points in here. So they're planning to add on little additives to videos that'll pop up, which was introduced during the COVID thing, for example, to go, hey, this content might be artificially generated, or synthetic content, as YouTube calls it. That is a particularly poor choice of word right there, as synthetic simply just means artificial, non-natural, and or man-made, and I don't know about you, but I have yet to see the YouTube video that can be mined from the earth or extracted from the water supply. But, dumbass choice of wording notwithstanding, they mention that some of the problems might be that YouTube videos could have, well, straight up fake information in them, very convincing fake information as well. And in a time like this, with the election coming up, for example, with everyone being rather tense, I see the worry. Imagine, for example, if leaked audio of a certain prominent political figure stating repeatedly that he is going to, fix the next election, for example, emerge on the internet. That is going to make its way to the other end of the globe and become common knowledge. It is going to go viral faster than PewDiePie's sex tape, okay? It is going to go like that. And by the time it's out in the real world, refuting it is going to be virtually pointless, as the percentage of people you will reach with the refutal will be significantly smaller than the percentage of people who will see it in the first place. And considering right now we have YouTube videos of political presidents, for example, making short little joke videos of them playing video games, this is hardly an unimaginable scenario. And hell, that's even one of the more benign ones. We've currently got a little bit of a conflict going on between Gaza and Israel, which is demonstrating, yet again, the most age-old adage of warfare, that truth is forever the first victim. Hamas is saying that, I think the news number was 14,000 killed, which is impressive, as that means that the Israeli bombing campaign puts the one sent against Dresden to shame in terms of efficiency, but again, details. Meanwhile, Israel, of course, is claiming that they're only bombing military targets, but that Hamas has a nasty habit of burying their military targets underneath hospitals and kindergartens, which, well, they do tend to do. So, there's that. But from an outside perspective, as somebody living, 8,000 kilometers away, it's very difficult to determine who's precisely telling the truth. You can certainly make some pretty educated guesses, but it's a fact that both sides obviously want to win the PR battle, to the point that we also know for a fact that you have people literally acting out scenes of apparent airstrikes, for example. This is now common knowledge, but again, the retraction is going to affect a hell of a lot fewer people than the actual footage itself. And that's just using, video effects and film. AI could do that, but 1,000,000 times better, probably in just a couple of years. That is a real and genuine concern, as it will take fake news to an entirely entirely new level. And again, in the inflamed political position that we are currently in, that could cause a lot of nonsense. In fact, I would be absolutely shocked if we do not have a major case of AI motivated or caused terrorism straight up, or a major, mass casualty incident, as they call it, within the next 10 years due to AI. I'll be genuinely surprised. But there's also some of the more non-important stuff here as well. For example, this. New options for creators, viewers, and artists. So this is talking about stuff like, introducing ability for our music partners to request the removal of AI-generated music content that mimics an artist's unique singing or rapping voice. See, this is the issue because you don't really have necessarily a copyright over how you sound. You can't do that because it would mean that mimicking somebody would be then technically illegal. This is of course not legalistic, this is YouTube simply, legislating via terms of service, and this is a thing that protects the corporations above anyone and everyone. And considering how massively abusable copyright is already on YouTube, where a company can claim a 10-hour video because of 5 seconds of audio content in it, this is only going to make it worse. You happen to sound like a celebrity? Well, that's damnably unlucky for you! Copyright strike, copyright strike, copyright strike. Of course, there are legitimate issues as well, like there are, for example, people using AI-generated voices to voice their entire channels. Some of them even adding in the name of the person in question in the name of the channel. This is legalistically dubious at the best of times, as there is certain element of impersonation there, and more correctly, overt impersonation. Now, adding on a label might in fact actually make that legal, since you're then making it very clear, okay, hello there, this is a big label, I'm not actually the person whose voice I'm using here, blah blah blah, I'm actually using an AI voice to present it this way, which might actually solve some of the problems. That is, assuming the person whose voice you're using is, okay with you using their voice to, act out violent sex fantasies. There was actually a thing about that. What was it? I don't remember the specifics right now, but there was some actors or something, I think, who had their voices basically used to voice act porn, and they weren't very happy about it. Understandably enough, and at that point, you could kind of make a defamation case out of it, but this is hardly legally explored territory, so the fact that the social media giants are the first force to actually step in and make restrictions on it is worrying at best, as this really should be a legislative issue to clarify and make clear the rules when it comes to using other people's voices, even perhaps their appearances as well, because, again, taking somebody's likeness and drawing it is hardly illegal. And making an AI doing it should not really be much less illegal, really, as, again, you're simply drawing it. It's not a photo that you have the copyright to, for example, but this is a whole can of worms that, again, really should be debated by legal minds rather than the censors at YouTube, but this is where we are. And obviously, they are going to use AI themselves to moderate content. I do love that. So to begin with, we go, this has tremendous consequences. It could be damaging. It could cause a remarkable amount of harm to our people. This is awful. Oh, by the way, we're going to use it to censor you. Screw you, YouTube. And to be fair, okay, all right. On the bright side, assuming, and this is one hell of a leap, assuming the AI is actually going to be competent, it could theoretically cut down on bogus copyright claims. If, for example, the AI is like, okay, well, I actually understand fair use now. I actually have an understanding of what that means, and I can make a relatively decent quantifiable decision on what constitutes fair use and what doesn't. So it looks at a video, and it's like 2 hours long, and there's 5 seconds of audio in it, and the copyright claimant goes like, okay, I'm going to claim that. And then the AI goes, actually, you can't claim that. That's obviously fair use. I'm going to block your claim. And if you disagree, well, you need to escalate it, because that's what the YouTubers have to do. If somebody claims your content, they can do so just like that. They don't have to do anything. But you then have to either dispute it, or you have to directly escalate and go like, no, fuck you, sue me, or give me my video back, which is my preferred approach these days, honestly. And the YouTube AI could then switch that around on the copyright holder. Like, okay, no, this is fair use. Like, okay, if you dispute that, you're gonna have to like go like deliver us actual paperwork and say, no, we actually do believe that this is correct. YouTube, please take it down. And then you escalate it to the content creator again thereafter. That's not gonna happen, of course, because that would take power away from the corporations, the people giving YouTube money. So, yeah. A guy can dream, can't he? And YouTube will also be able to start making their own AI tools, as this is what everyone is going to do now. Every nation, every corporation with major cash is going to try to develop their own AI tools to mass produce their own content. I guarantee you, well, I know for a fact that Amazon is working on generative AI right now. I guarantee you Google's doing it. I guarantee you YouTube's doing it. I guarantee you Microsoft's doing it. I guarantee you every single gosh darn company is currently doing it, because the possibilities are next to endless. If, for example, this is one of the big things. At a relatively near point in the future, somebody is going to figure out an AI that's capable of writing competent code. When that happens, they are going to outcompete practically every single software development company on the planet. Obviously, they're still going to need a great deal of programmers to fix whenever the AI messes up, and go through the spaghetti codes to sort things out, troubleshoot, stuff like that. When something unexpected happens, they need people to fix it because the AI might not be able to analyze it. But even then, the AI is going to be looking over their shoulders every step of the way and go, I see what I did there, let me just fix that, and then that error doesn't occur again. AI is going to make programmers as a class practically obsolete, is my bet, within 20 odd years. Again, you're still going to have jobs for the absolute top percentage, because somebody's going to have to troubleshoot the AI as well, and somebody's going to have to program the AI as well to an extent. But when this happens, it will be huge. When the first major entertainment company figures out how to make convincing AI actors, that will just it will wipe actors off the face of the earth. Again, there will be a percentage remaining at the very top, and VTubing as well. So this is an interesting thing, because surely every single VTube channel is going to have to slap this content label on their thing, right? Because their content is obviously artificial, and obviously so. But it depends on what YouTube's definition is, whether it needs to be realistic, or whether merely having it be obviously artificial is enough. And if so, what does that label mean? Will YouTube derank you? Will YouTube boost you? Will YouTube boost you if you use their tools? Or will they simply use their tools to boost the people they like? Simply saying like, okay, here's the official YouTube AI tools. You can make thumbnails with it, and mysteriously those thumbnails always get 10% more clicks, for example. There is a next to infinite number of ways to abuse AI, and we're gonna see pretty much every single one of them tried. Some of them are going to be very dangerous. In fact, some of them are probably going to kill people, in my opinion. And some of them are merely going to be abused by greedy corporations that want to corner the market on whatever they're currently doing. And like, the labels too. Adding a label on something will automatically make people a little bit turned off by it, because that's a warning label. It's like synthetically generated content. Again, I think the choosing of the word synthetic was quite deliberate there, because it's got a little bit of a negative connotation, doesn't it? It's not natural, it's not homegrown or wholesome, it's synthetic, it's artificial, it's created, crafted, you know? Who knows, that might just be me, but yeah, YouTube is going to change significantly over this, and I do wonder again how wide the definition is going to be. Well, actually I don't. I know how broad the definition is going to be. The definition is going to be so broad that it includes absolutely everything that isn't raw dog footage without any editing or additions to it whatsoever, which, well, would include, you know, just adding your voice to it, because, well, that is artificially generated content because you've edited it, but details. But it will only be used to hit those people that YouTube doesn't like, and it'll be used to artificially help those that YouTube do like, because that is the current year reality, tragically enough. The scale of the abuse is the only real question, and I mean, with the changing of the tides, we might at least see a modicum of restraint. Possibly. Or not. Do let me know what you think in the comment section down below on this, though, because I'm very interested in hearing what everybody thinks about AI, because it is going to be massive, and a lot of people have a lot of thoughts around it. I had an excellent conversation with Shad Diversity on AI art the other day as well, which you might want to check out. Though, to be fair, spoiler alert here, me and Shad honestly agree on most of these points, so it's hardly going to be a calling out grilling of Shad, but I honestly think that a little bit of agreement as well can be healthy in these environments. We don't have to shout at each other all the time. Or so I take you telling myself. Until next time, I'm Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.